What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we have quite a bit to talk about in regards to new content coming to Black Ops 4. First and foremost, we have audio of potential scrapped game modes that never made their way into the game, but for all we know could still be added later this year before Black Ops 5. And we're also going to be talking about a date as to when Activision could potentially be confirming new content that could come to Black Ops 4 as well. Now, also make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because about 50% of you that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so make sure you guys are getting notifications every time I update you on Black Ops 4 Year 2, Black Ops 5, and even Zombies Chronicles 2. So huge shout out goes out to a good buddy of mine, Josh Wukul, for actually finding this audio of these scrapped modes, or maybe it's just audio that was there as a placeholder in case these modes were added. We just don't know. But first off, we have Bare Bones Demolition.
Bare Bones Demolition. Bare Bones Demolition.
We have Hardcore Bare Bones Demolition.
Hardcore Bare Bones Demolition. Hardcore Bare Bones Demolition.
This weird zombie sound, which had me really clueless, I've never heard it before.
Sesek, side, Sesek, side.
And we have Hardcore Bare Bones Prop Hunt.
Hardcore Bare Bones Prop Hunt. Hardcore Bare Bones Prop Hunt.
So yeah, some goofy sounding modes there. First off with Demolition, one of my favorite modes from Black Ops 1. It was also added to Black Ops 2, and I believe was in Black Ops 3 as well, but I just can't think of it at the moment. But as of right now, it seems like Black Ops 4 is the only Black Ops game that Demolition was not featured in. And it doesn't take much work to put the mode in the game, because it's essentially like search and destroy, except there is respawning, right? You can kill the enemies, you can keep going, but you can also plant those bombs. Everybody on a team has a bomb, so it's essentially like a very hectic version of search and destroy. I think Sabotage was also pretty fun back in the Black Ops 1 days, and I think Demolition is probably one of my most played modes from back in the day, so it's a shame that it wasn't added to Black Ops 4, but audio was recorded for it, so I'm sure Treyarch had it in mind at some point, and maybe it would have been a good fit with one of the new operations, right? Adding some fan favorite modes into multiplayer, aside from the ones we already have, but that just never happened. And if that did happen, they also recorded Hardcore Bare Bones Demolition, so there's definitely some plans in mind to keep a variety of different versions of certain modes here in this game. So hopefully in the future we see that. Again, it doesn't take much work to actually put this in. Some testing would be required, obviously, but again, it's pretty much just search and destroy, just with a different set of rules. So fingers crossed they add this in at some point. It would really spice things up. And I know it's not coming this week because we have Deathmatch Domination being added in, but maybe in the next few weeks they'll surprise us with something like this. Now, we also have this zombie sound. Again, I'm not sure what this is. Josh thought it was maybe the announcer that you hear when you play as a zombie in the exclusive Infected mode that they added in back with Operation Apocalypse Z. I know they added the Infected mode back for like Halloween and some other moments as well. They kind of rotated it in and out, but when you're playing a zombie, I've never heard that zombie sound before, and I can't even understand what it's saying. At first I heard seasick, then I thought it was saying seaside sunset. I wasn't sure what exactly the zombie sound was, but it definitely is from multiplayer, so you guys let me know in the comments what you think that is. And we then have Hardcore Bare Bones Prop Hunt. So I didn't think you needed a hardcore bare bones version of Prop Hunt, but hey, I guess they have a hardcore version in mind. Once again, could just be them recording stuff in advance just in case. Maybe it was an idea they had written down on paper, so they had the announcers go ahead and record that in case they do add this mode in at some point. But yeah, it was originally just a custom mode made by the community, and developers took note of it and finally added it into the mainstream series as a limited time mode, which is cool, but you know, it's just a little too slow for my liking. I'm really about fast-paced action, dominating the gameplay, but Prop Hunt's cool. It's a pretty simple party mode, so you know, they have a hardcore version in mind for that, which is pretty interesting. Now, in terms of when Activision could be confirming new content coming to this game, we actually have an Activision investors call happening on February the 6th. Now, I've kind of gone over this in a previous video, but when I looked at the date for it, it said February 11th, so that's not true. It's actually February 6th. Now, what I'm not sure about is whether or not they'll also be releasing a similar chart to the one that was released back in 2017. Business Insider posted this this chart, and on the chart you can obviously see another DLC was confirmed for Black Ops 3, and at the time Infinite Warfare was in its current season, so that was right there hinting at a Zombies Chronicles coming to Black Ops 3. So fingers crossed a chart just like this gets released again this year, and maybe we'll see something on there that's related to Black Ops 4 in terms of new DLC. But as I've also briefly touched on in a previous video, when I get the green light from a couple of people, I can go ahead and talk more about Black Ops 5 and exactly what's going on with those Victus remakes. Because the current rumor from some very reputable people right now is that the maps are finished for Black Ops 4, but unfortunately Activision finds it better to save those maps for launch content that'll be in Black Ops 5 Zombies. But once again, much more detail will be explained in a future video once I get the green light to do so, and I should probably get the green light in the next couple weeks or so. So I'm looking forward to talking more about that, because again, the Victus maps are done, you're definitely going to see them, but unfortunately things change. That's how game development works, so we'll just have to wait and see how that's handled. But I was also thinking about a Valentine's Day update. Valentine's Day is obviously next week on the 14th, not too far away. Maybe they'll do something special, some double XP, some new modes. I know with Black Ops 3 they had the Bloody Valentine camo, which was super sick, and I think it was added during year 1 through like a limited time offer if you logged into the game on Valentine's Day, and then after that day it was no longer available. But the following year, I think it was probably during year 2 of Black Ops 3, they added Bloody Valentine back in through the contraband stream, so you're able to get it from a random supply drop, and I was lucky enough to get it through there. But who knows, maybe something similar will be added to Black Ops 4. That would be really cool to see. Now in terms of that investors call though, happening on February the 6th, just 2 days from now, I'll be keeping you guys updated here on my channel if anything is really confirmed or teased. Cannot wait to see what happens. But I think at the very least they'll just confirm that Treyarch is working on Call of Duty 2020. They'll talk about all the microtransactions and the success with all these recent releases, Call of Duty Mobile, Modern Warfare, all of that, but I'm pretty sure they'll at least mention Call of Duty 2020. Maybe they'll say that they got off to a rocky start with it, but now Treyarch is in charge, so at the very least expect something like that. But if they don't mention Black Ops 4 at all, and instead they just mention, you know, sales are pretty good for the game, microtransactions sold well, then they move on to Modern Warfare, that doesn't mean nothing can come to Black Ops 4, because again, Treyarch themselves confirmed that they'll be keeping this game healthy throughout 2020, so hopefully that means more content aside from playlist rotations and double XP in game. So again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. But in terms of new weapons that could be added into Black Ops 4, besides the MP40, which there are several tweets about, which Treyarch actually acknowledged, besides the MP40, which I would love to see, there are plenty of other weapons that are already in game that don't require very much work at all. So an example here would be the Essex, the Welling, the Zweihander, the Escargot, even the Tommy gun or the Trench gun, right? These are weapons that are already in the game in the form of Blackout or Zombies. Some of these are in both Blackout and Zombies, so would not take much work at all to then put that into multiplayer. I think I would love to see somebody using a Tommy gun or a Trench gun over in the multiplayer. The Zweihander is pretty much a double barrel MG15 from Black Ops 2 Origin, so it'd be sick to see something like that in the multiplayer experience. And you know, maybe through community contracts, maybe they'll just drop them for free, you know, so you can use your pick your weapon bribe to get it. Who knows how they would do that, but I think adding something simple like that would keep the game fresh. That's what kept Black Ops 3 fresh for so damn long. We saw Zombies Chronicles during year 2, but throughout year 2, I think every month or so, you were seeing new weapons added into the multiplayer in the form of new contraband. It had people playing the game, had people opening supply drops, had people spending tons of money. That alone had the community just going ballistic over new DLC weapons and these teasers. And then year 3 still added a couple more weapons here and there, but we started getting these mini operations, these weather dynamic maps such as Fringe Nightfall, Redwood Snow, getting us prepared for the content we would be seeing within Black Ops 4. But it would be great to hear Activision confirm on this call that more updates are planned for Black Ops 4 before the release of COD 2020. That would be great to hear. Hopefully they go into specifics about whether it's for multiplayer, Blackout, or Zombies. I would love to hear them talk about Blackout being free to play. That's a whole different can of worms that I've talked about in a previous video too. I think making Blackout free to play would be very beneficial, and somehow by making it free to play, they incorporate some type of cross-play, because that was obviously a rumor a couple of months ago when some other YouTuber who I won't name actually photoshopped an image, and it looked pretty damn good. They photoshopped an image of what appeared to be cross-play being added to Black Ops 4, and you know, a lot of us weren't gullible, but we realized, hey, that's definitely a possibility since Modern Warfare has it now. Maybe they could somehow incorporate that in Blackout. And you know, I made a couple of videos about it, talking about it. Then finally it got debunked, and we're like, shit, it's really not coming to Black Ops 4. But maybe there's a possibility if Blackout is made free to play as a separate separate application on your console. But with Modern Warfare's Battle Royale still around the corner, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, right? I think when Treyarch does another Battle Royale at some point in the future with Black Ops 5, Black Ops 6, whatever game they do it on, maybe then we'll see crossplay on there, because it looks like the new trend going forward for Call of Duty is to have crossplay and a similar system to Fortnite where you have an Activision account, right, similar to an Epic account, and you can play with people from there on any platform. So maybe that's going to be how it works going forward. But again, Blackout free to play would be great, and I think they should have done that right when Black Ops 4 cycle ended, right when the black market revamp happened to multiplayer. They should have been like, boom, Blackout's free to play. That would just keep player retention super high for those out there that just didn't like Modern Warfare, maybe didn't even try Black Ops 4, but now would try it because of that. So kind of a missed opportunity there, but hopefully in the future we see some more free to play components of Call of Duty. So fingers crossed on that. But again, it's all up to Activision on what they see is financially beneficial. And last but not least, we have this missing slot in the in-game store for Black Ops 4. I get asked about this all the time. And there's people out there who claim that if you don't have the Black Ops Pass, that'll pop up in, I think it's the first slot, which moves everything to the right, and it fills up all 6 slots. And that's just the way the in-game store is built. However, it's certainly possible that something could be added there in the future. For those out there that have the Black Ops Pass, there's a slot that's just empty. So maybe when Black Ops 5 gets announced, there'll be some type of pre-order bonus that you can download in Black Ops 4, and it'll take that slot in the store for Black Ops 4. So fingers crossed on that too. Again, it's very possible that a Victus Chronicles or Zombies Chronicles 2 could be in the zombie section. Maybe we have a multiplayer DLC for the multiplayer section, similar to the Back in Black pack from Black Ops 3. Once again, a whole DLC that was added during year 3 of Black Ops 3 after the Black Ops 4 reveal. It was a digital pre-order incentive for pre-ordering Black Ops 4 on PSN, which to me was pretty cool. I think logging a map pack behind a pre-order bonus is a pretty big deal, and I think the best way to handle that is to just make it a pre-order bonus from any retailer, no matter what form you get the game in, physical or digital. I think that's a genius idea. Could definitely have people pre-ordering a game that they may not even want, but because the pre-order bonus is so cool, they'll give it a shot anyway, right? New multiplayer maps in Black Ops 4, new zombie maps, something along those lines. And, you know, to save time and budget, they could be like, okay, if you pre-order Black Ops 5 in whatever way possible, right, or digitally through PSN, you'll get these maps in Black Ops 4, but those maps will also be available in Black Ops 5 at release or as DLC later, and also available on PlayStation 5, right? That's certainly possible because Back in Black was exactly that. You pre-ordered Black Ops 4, got certain multiplayer maps early in Black Ops 3, but those maps were also available at launch in Black Ops 4 multiplayer as well, right? The faithful remasters of Firing Range, Slum, Summit, and Jungle. But that is about it. This has been DK Dynamite. Hope you enjoyed the wild Blackout gameplay in the background, going off with the lads, going off with the VMP. Definitely a lot of fun. We talked about quite a bit in today's video as well. But that is about it. Really hope you enjoyed. Check all links down below in the description, and peace out, everyone.